The only good news in this is that it cannot get any worse. I should receive financial compensation for the emotional trouble of that ending. Ah! I wanted to take advantage of natural sunlight, and this is what happens. Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing something that I've seen floating around BookTube, but not too much. I'm going to leave the original video idea down below. I'm not going to stop this video until I found the next 5-star read. So I'm going to read a bunch of books. When I finally find a 5-star read, one of my new favorites, I'm going to stop the video. Pretty simple. I am going to start with something that I am not confident is going to be 5 stars, but I really, really want to read, and that is The Last Stair. I've done a vlog, you can see it up here, for the Folk of the Air series. I binged the whole series. It was so readable, it went on so fast, and I want to go on to the... It's not The Last Stair, it's The Stolen. The Last Stair is like a Percy Jackson thing. Oh, okay. The Stolen Air by Holly Black. All about fairies, folklore, folkloristic fairies, and apparently the protagonist, which is Oak, which was a little kid in the Folk of the Air series, like the Crow Prince, has goat legs and horns. We'll see about that. If you can hear music, I am terribly sorry. The carnival is in Venice right now. It is not even started, but people, especially tourists, think that it is, which is, you know, unnerving and annoying. So I finished The Last Stair. Yes, I bought a physical copy because reading it on ebook was miserable. So I think I'm going to give it 4 stars. It was a very compelling story. I really liked the protagonist. I don't know why Holly Black is allergic to physical descriptions. Like, she gives these areas and nebulous description of things and places, but they do not paint a picture. So you can sort of imagine where people are going and what they're doing, but it's not clear in my mind, which is why this book is so short, even though this adventure could have been a trilogy of books. She cuts out so much of the voyage because this is like a quest story. I really like the characters. Oak is not the golden boy that everybody told me he would be. He's just like a kind of golden boy who kills a lot of people. So, you know, in line with what Jude was and the protagonist ran, delightful to read about. Even though the ending, I should receive financial compensation for the emotional trouble of that ending. So yeah, 4 stars. So now I'm going to read an Italian book that one of my dearest friends in the world bought for me for my birthday. This is Il lettore sul lettino, tic manie e stravaganze di chi ama I lettori, which in English means the reader on the little bed, like the medical bed. Which is about tics, manias, and extravaganzas of who loves to read. So these are all like the idiosyncrasies of different types of readers. I think it's going to be hilarious, and I'm really hoping I like it. I'm really hoping for 5 stars, even though this video could be really short, but I really want to find a new favorite. Hi, hello. This is a public service announcement. I'm going to DNF this book. It's not because it's bad, but it's a non-fiction book. It's very interesting. I'm really, really liking it so far. But it talks about the history through psychology and like literature history of how neurotic readers are. It's so funny, but I am trudging through it so slowly, and I just want a fiction book. So this is going to be like a slow chapter by chapter reading. Like, I'll pick it up, read a chapter, put it down for a month or two, even though it's good, it's very good. I'm on page 42. I've already read out loud so many times. So I'm going to pick another book. Not a success. So I decided I'm going to pick an audiobook. I still don't know what it is, but I'm going to insert it here. It's probably going to be a slutty monster romance or like a stupid, hilarious romance book that I find on audiobook, because I'm feeling a book slump coming because I've read 20 books so far since the start of the year, and it's a lot. So hopefully this one will get me through my book reading slump, and I'll give it 5 stars out of sheer, you know, stubbornness.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
Okay, hi, update. This challenge is going so badly, so badly. You have no idea. I managed to find the only monster romance, like silly book that is actually fucking problematic. I said it. I never call books problematic because I don't know, it's a term that is not in my native language. It's kind of a foreign concept to me to vocalize in another language. Weird. You saw that I had chosen a silly little like paranormal, not like a monster romance, but like a paranormal book about a young woman going into an academy to become death. So like Death Reapers. It was supposed to be the story of revenge, kind of, because she escapes a very toxic situation in her family to go to this academy. Tell me why in the first third of the book they excuse incest. I'm not sure what to say. The writing was atrocious. Possibly the worst writing that I've ever heard in my entire life. But I was going to be past that because I'm in a reading slump. I just wanted a silly book. In this book, every character is a bully. The main character is incredibly stupid, but everybody bullies her to the point that I think would be like criminal charges in the human world. But I was like, this is a story about revenge. I'm okay with that, of things going very badly in the first like half of the book. And then I think a potential love interest gets introduced because the protagonist is like, oh my god, he's so beautiful, he's an archangel. Angels having, you know, a gender makes me uncomfortable, but you know, it's no biggie. And then he's homophobic. His introductory line is him being homophobic. Wonderful. And then I pushed on because I was like, it cannot get any worse. It could. The protagonist is made to be the stupid one in a conversation with a demon because she's like, you're having sex with your sister. That's incest. That's terrible. And he's like, oh, you know, you stupid humans and your morals. It's perfectly fine. You're just a stupid little silly human girl. So yeah, I am DNF in this book. The worst thing that I've ever read in my entire life. There's nothing I think that was worse than this. So the only the only good news in this is that it cannot get any worse. This is the worst. I am speechless. So now I have to choose another book, and it's going to be better than this. That's for sure. I don't know what I'll choose right now. I think I'm going to take a little bit of a pause, like half a day, to decide another silly book to get me off this terrible period of my life. Oh my god. Is this the influence of the Year of the Rabbit? I don't know. It was terrible. So terrible. This lighting feels homophobic. My makeup is so wonderful. Why is it like this? I was filming something else, but I was very proud of my makeup. So I was going to update you, just, you know, anyway, because I finished 2 books and this challenge is finally over. I don't know why I had such bad luck in February with books. It was insane how bad my luck was. Like, I found the worst book of the year. We all agree that that book was the worst book of the year. So then I decided to pick up a book that I had left like half read, not because of particular reasons, just because I was waiting for the physical copy, because I didn't want to read the ebook, and I finally got it and I finished it in 3 days. This is August Kitko and the Megas from Space. This is a sci-fi queer adventure story. It was so good. I didn't give this 5 stars, I gave it 4 and 0.25 stars, because some parts were really like solid 4 stars, some parts were 5 stars, so I did a little bit of a math calculation and went 4.25. The story was fantastic. This is like Evangelion if it had like neon colors and none of the, existential dread and the Great Depression. Not like the Great Depression, but like a Great Depression for me. This book was fun, it was introspective, it has giant robots fighting in space, and it has like, I think, wonderful representation for non-binary people and just like queer romances. There is a queer romance that is present in this book, and I love the main characters, Gus, especially, and it all revolves around music. I'm a musician, I really like this book. I cannot wait for the second one. What lowered my rating was the writing. I'm not bilingual, but even if I was, the writing in here was very dense, very sci-fi writing in which everything has a brand name and every sentence has at least 1 or 2 brand names. And I had to pretend that I knew what cabs were. They're like automated flying cars for like half the book. I needed maybe a glossary. A glossary would have solved all of my problems, I think. But yeah, still really, really fucking good queer book. Just loved it. And then I was feeling great. I was feeling great because I finally finished a very good book. And it's like, I am on the right track. I knew what I was going to do. I was going to cheat a little bit. I had said to myself, only books in this challenge, but seeing my luck, I was like, I can allow 1 or 2 mangas. So I picked up the first 4 volumes of Kami-sama Kiss, or Kami-sama Hajimemashita. This is not correct. This is correct. By Julieta Suzuki. I mean, come on. This is one of the best mangas of all time. It just is. One of the best romances, one of the best books about spirits and yokais in Japan. And I don't know. Our protagonist, Nanami, is a high school student, and her dad is full of debts, so much that he abandons her and she finds herself homeless. But then she finds this really weird guy stuck on a tree. She helps him and he's like, I'm going to give you my home to protect. And his home is a temple. A Japanese temple in which yokais and spirits live. And she becomes a local divinity, a local god. And she falls in love with the spirit that protects that place, that gets all the defenses. That's Tomoe, is a fox spirit, and she befriends every spirit that she encounters because she's such a nice and fun girl, and the romance is beautiful, the story is so funny. Just like, I gave every volume 5 stars. This is a classic, of course. So our challenge ends here with one of the best mangas out there. So I'm kind of happy, Let's do a wrap up of all the books that I've read. These are it with their rating. Do I remember what I read at the beginning of the challenge? No, I don't want to remember. They were awful books. The only one that I vividly remember was Grim Reaper Academy, and I want to bleach that book out of my memory. That was so bad. Do you want to do like a math average of the rating that I gave these books? I'm going to put it right here. I'm an engineer. I should know what I'm doing. So yeah, this challenge didn't go how I had planned, possibly because I should pick better books. I'm terrible at doing that because I want silly goofy times, and silly goofy times are sometimes very cringeworthy and terrible. I should probably, skip on some of the audiobooks that have terrible titles like Bear, the Mate That Came From the Mountain. Anyway, I hope you had fun. Tell me in the comments which books you liked the best, and if you've ever read something as awful as Grim Reaper Academy. That book is forever seared in my brain. And all my socials down below. I'm most active on TikTok if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Goodbye. Mwah.